Sculptures, monuments, and statues. Easy ways to embed moments, people, and memories in time. Today, we meet Cleophas Mandela, a sculptor, and talk about some of his works. I'm confused about something, yeah? What's the difference between a sculpture, a monument, and a statue?
A sculpture is the form of making an object, a 3D object. But a statue is the form of now making a sculpture of an animal or a person. And then a monument is when now it's a sculpture that is supposed to depict a moment in history or a moment in time when now a nation or maybe a country wants to commemorate that moment in time.
The Kipchoge Statue, your most famous work at the moment. Tell me how you got to that place of, the inspiration and all that. Like, what inspired you to make the statue?
I usually like making faces of people who've made an impact, both nationally and internationally.
Yeah.
We had this idea with my partner, like, let's kickstart with it and we see how far it can go.
Tell me about other projects that you've done.
On my list, I think I have probably like 3. Two of which I worked with my late dad. That will be the Mboya statue and Julius Nyerere's monument in Dar es Salaam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm putting everything I have.
Yeah?
It's not enough.
Wait. Try this.
How long did it take you to make the Kipchoge statue?
4 months.
Yeah.
From start to finish, we started with sketches, trying to get postures. And his hands akimbo.
Mental fitness plays a big role during competition. I am not running on my legs alone, but I am running with my heart and my mind.
So your dad was also a sculptor?
He was a sculptor.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you study for the same?
Partly, I was mentored by my dad. I went to Kenyatta University to pursue fine art. But I later on dropped out. Then I joined my dad for his mentorship.
Have you worked with other artists and collaborated with them in the same field now that you have been here for 2 decades?
Okay, at the moment, I'm collaborating with my fiance and partner,
who
happens to be a sculptor and an interior designer.
Oh, that must be her.
Yeah.
I'm here to help with the background today.
You're part of the company that Cleophas works with. So tell us about your role and what you do in the company.
Well, I'm a sculptor as him. So he does most of the bigger form, the feel about it that's before. So when he's finished with the form, I'm the one who comes and tries to work on the details. Because I can be able to work on, because I have small fingers, so I can be able to work on small details like the small eyes and everything. But we are always in collaboration with him.
There are some pieces that people consider landmarks, monuments, decorations, and such. But what would how do you consider the pieces that you make?
I think I'm all-rounded because I do get commissions to do individual pieces, monuments, statues.
Is there a particular project that you've done and you find to be a favorite, a particular sculpture that you've made and you're like, yeah, that is my favorite of all time?
The one that's my favorite will be the one for Nick Ndeda. Because I got to work with a live person.
Oh, like the way they'd sit down and then you'd sculpt them as they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, and I did that with my partner, so it was a bit interesting.
Currently, we're using plasticine. I read somewhere, please feel free to demystify this, that the sculpture that you made, the Kipchoge sculpture, is made of bronze.
Yeah.
So what's your preferred medium of material to use?
I prefer using bonded bronze because of its availability, and then it's a bit cheaper compared to pure bronze. It can withstand the same conditions that a pure bronze can withstand. So it can be used both for interior and exterior.
Let me just take you here for a bit, and I want you to talk about the details and there's so much detail that's going on here, like even from the structure of the vest he's wearing, the particular details with the whole sculpture. Tell me about the detailing process that goes around into making something like this.
The time taken and then the time studying again Eliud Kipchoge's face. So I think it was just a series of doing a lot of study, face study, posture, and then now in terms of the material, I just playing around to see which would best suit the whole statue.
Tell me about, you know, the textures that are going around here.
All this comes with the mold. If I made the mold, it will get the details of the plasticine and the texture. So when you cast, it just comes out the way it is. So all this was in the plasticine.
The moment we get a contract or a kind of a job, we know we always assign duties. So he starts with the form, and then we approve it's okay. I come in with the details where it's supposed to be. He approves it's okay. So after, by the time we are at the stage where we feel like it's good, then most of our hands are in the sculpture. So yeah.
There's like all these features that you're working with, Harper, whether it's the facial features, the bodily features, the clothing, and I'm kind of relating that to these books that you have here on the table. So I don't know if you can tell us a little bit more about this one, you know, the anatomy for the artist and, you know, anatomy for sculptors. How do these things come into your working and the sculpting work that you do?
Usually it's just the guideline to understand the human anatomy, the face, the body structure. It's just to aid me and guide me on the principalities of the human body, so that I don't sway away from, you know, making something that's off.
We found the love of sculpting with the realistic side of it. But when you start doing the realistic, there are clients who come with their own style. They want this, they want that. Like there's one that we've done and we've liked, and it's out of our comfort zone, which is the Kenyatta who's there. We were given specifications where he needs to be a little bit of abstract, obscure, but has like a, you know, like a form of signature. So we were like, this is interesting, because we're now not working with the details that we're used to. So that was new, and also that we added into our work. So now we can now even, we don't need to add the realistic too much, but we can try and showcase our work even by movements, posture, gestures, and someone will be like, I know that kind of person, I know that person. So we've evolved, and we've gotten a little bit of here and there, and we're trying to cooperate with our work. Even you see with the Kipchoge, we kind of did the akimbo thing, you know, which is also like a body posture that, you know, it's an added advantage to him, because he will just be standing up straight, but everyone knows that's the style.
For sure, What does your interaction with clients look like in this whole process, from getting the initial process from the interaction with the client to the end product and delivery? It's
in 3 phases. So when I'm done with the sketches, when we come to an agreement, then I jump into now doing the small maquette. And then once I'm done doing the small maquette, I call the client comes, approves, and then from there I now embark doing now the bigger sculpture. And then once that's done, before now I embark to making the mold and casting, I have to call back the client to come and approve and make changes if necessary. And then from there, I now start casting, and then I call the client to come and see if the color code or the patina is correct. And then now it's installation and delivery.
You've talked about the way as artists you go through changes, and your work also kind of evolves and develops with time. So tell us about some of the works that you guys have done previously and now the differences in the changes that you guys have undergone.
We've done there's one we did for Bob Colimo. We wanted to do it as like a gifting kind of. I think it was a remembrance, because we did it after he died. There's a style we did on him that's a bit different from now. So you find by then even the color, the patina that we used that time had a little bit of golden and brown, of which now we are trying to evolve. You see, we are trying to use the blackish and the red, and this all feels African, and the red feels like Kenyan. So we are trying to, it's not the same as before, because the before was the most traditional one. It kind of feels like it's bronze. But now we are like evolving. We want to try and make it authentic African, authentic Kenyan. So that we are trying to use the blacks and the browns and the reds that we see even in the flag, you know, Kenyan. That's what we are trying to do at the moment. So maybe in 4 years or 5 years to come, there might be something else that we are doing with it.
Are there pieces that you've done, exhibits with and, put in galleries, or do you have like an exhibit coming up? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking forward for, I think 2025. I think we'll have an exhibition where we can now showcase how far we've grown as a company and as individual artists.
So, I have a house in Miami. Amen. And I'd like to get a sculpture for my house, for my compound, for all these things. If you have a client overseas, how does the process of creation and delivery go about?
Usually, because I have a workshop and I'm most comfortable working at my space.
Yeah.
So if I do get a client that wants work done at their site, there are provisions for that. I can go travel and work at their site, but mostly I advise I work from my workshop because it's easier and it's cost effective. And then after that, we can package for you and then ship it to you through DHL and all these other shipping companies that are available.
Dream project. Is there something that you've just wanted to work on, and should you get the opportunity, that's the first thing you run towards?
So I think even after years of staying with my partner and doing a lot of work together, we end up having the same brainwave, So most of the things that we haven't seen going on in this country or maybe worldwide is representing people and the way, the things that they've done for this country, the things they've done abroad.
Yeah.
And we wanted to put it on ourselves to try to cherish them even before they die. Like you see, Kipchoge is alive. We've tried to cherish him with his work, of which we know maybe when he sees this years to come, he'll be like, at least I was appreciated at one point in my life.
Yeah.
When we have decided to do something to it, no excuses, then we are self-disciplined. That means that learn to say no, and that's fine.
A lot of these sculptures are sometimes placed outside, and that would mean that they are vulnerable to hostile conditions. Is it rain? Is it snow? Is it extreme sunshine? How does that also go about for you as a sculptor?
With the nature, the type of material I'm using, at least I'm confident enough to say that it can withstand the normal, harsh conditions of the weather.
Are there people who kind of enjoy the product as it continues to weather down?
Yeah. There's beauty when something is being has stayed out for a long time. Some clients do appreciate when the sculpture is outside and then you find like mosses and grass is growing on them. It creates another beauty on it. Maybe becomes one with nature somehow.
If someone wants to contact you for your company or to even commission you for work, how can they reach you?
Through my social media handles, Cleophas Mandela Ndula, on Instagram, Mandela Ndula Sculptor, and then there's 3D exhibition services at Instagram and also on Facebook.